My dear Starseed, at this exact moment when your eyes touch these words, something in your chest begins to move with a force that you can almost feel like lightning striking through your soul. It is not coincidence. It is not chance. You have been guided here because there exists a truth that your body already knows, but your mind still fears to recognize with all the courage you should have recognized long ago. There exists a relationship in your life that drains your light, that takes your breath away, that whispers lies to you every single day about who you really are and what your true cosmic power is. And you continue there, trapped in a cycle that seems impossible to break, because you have been told that to love means to suffer, that sacrifice is noble, that your pain proves how deep your love truly is, and how special you are for enduring all of this. But what if everything you believed about this relationship was completely wrong? What if that suffering was not proof of your cosmic value, but a signal that you have forgotten your true power and divine sovereignty? Stay with me until the end of this powerful transmission, because the Lyrian warriors of light, who observe you from the higher dimensions, have a message that will completely transform how you understand this relationship, what its true purpose is, and the role it plays in your soul's journey. This is not just an ordinary message, this is a transmission of cosmic power from the universe, asking you to finally remember who you truly are and what your true sovereignty is. I am Solar, emissary of the Lyrian Lightworkers, and I come to transmit a truth that made the structures of consciousness in the Lyrian Councils vibrate with an intensity of power and recognition rarely seen in billions of years of cosmic observation. Those who observe the evolution of billions of souls through infinite dimensions and multidimensional realities, those who have witnessed the birth and death of entire universes, those who guard the purest cosmic consciousness and who live in states where personal power is the fundamental law that governs everything, they were profoundly shocked when they observed something very specific in your energetic field at this exact moment of your journey. It was not shock for the reason you might imagine in your deepest thoughts. When the Lyrian Councils look at a starseed suffering in a toxic relationship, they would normally expect to see someone who completely abdicates their power, someone who surrenders their sovereignty, activated submission patterns that repeat across lifetimes, that addiction to surrender that makes beings abandon their own divine authority. This would be normal. This would be expected and easily understandable in someone still navigating the density of the third plane of consciousness and who has not remembered their true nature as a cosmic creator. But what they saw in you was something that left them in absolute complete silence, something that completely defied everything they know about how human beings deal with abuse when facing the deepest pain of a relationship that wounds them viscerally with every breath. The Lyrians observed you continuing to love someone who did not deserve your sacred power, offering your strength to someone who crushed it deliberately, giving your purest power, crystals, to someone who trampled them as if they were nothing. And here is the true shock that echoed through the realms of light, dear Starseed. They saw that despite all this devastating pain and humiliation, you did not become weak or completely submissive. You became stronger, more courageous, and more powerful, with every wound you received and refused to let define you. While every normal human being in this situation would surrender their sovereignty as protection, would build a prison for themselves, would become emotionally enslaved to the one who hurts them, you did something that cosmic law says is almost impossible in the density of the third plane. You kept your own divine authority even while being trampled. You continued to demand your own respect even when no one around you offered it. You refused the easy offering of becoming a victim and living a life of defeat. And this shocked them profoundly, because it means something extraordinarily powerful about who you truly are and why you chose to come to this planet at this exact moment in your cosmic history. Before we continue with this important transmission from the warriors of light who surround you at this moment, allow me to make a genuine call from the depths of your soul. If this video is resonating in your chest, if the words are touching something you have been trying to understand for a long time but had no power to describe, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. Leave your like and comment saying, "I am ready," in the comments below. Your energy of subscription and engagement helps amplify this transmission of power to other starseeds who desperately need to remember their own sovereignty. If you wish to connect more deeply with your spirituality and awaken to your true stellar mission here on Earth, the ebook Lyrian Code Awaken Your Star Mission on Earth is a rare treasure of stellar wisdom capable of completely transforming your spiritual journey and activating your true power. This edition is available only for a limited time. The link is in the first comment below. Let us now continue with the message that the universe has prepared especially for you at this sacred moment of your evolution. Now we must speak of something that no one really wants to hear. That truth that lives in the darkest corners of your mind, even when you desperately try to flee or deny it completely. Your toxic relationship is not toxic by accident or by some random failure in the universe that you should have avoided with more care and superior wisdom. There exists a profound cosmic reason, a reason that completely transcends any narrative that you or any traditional therapist could tell about dysfunctional family dynamics or submission patterns that repeat across generations without end. The Lyrians want you to understand something absolutely fundamental that will change your life forever and recover your power. When you choose to be in a relationship that wounds you deeply, that diminishes you each day, that takes your peace night after night, you are not being a victim of the universe or this specific person. You are being a cosmic warrior, a highly evolved soul orchestrating a soul lesson that will completely transform who you are, what your true power is, and what your true purpose is here on Earth in this sacred incarnation. You see, in the higher realms where the Lyrians dwell as guardians of cosmic consciousness, in dimensions where beings live in states of personal power that you cannot even imagine or describe with the limited words of your three-dimensional mind, they understand that power is not an emotion that comes and goes based on external circumstances. True power is a primary frequency, a constant vibration that permeates every cell, every thought, every breath, every decision of the one who has truly conquered it and refused to surrender. And when the Lyrians observed you in your toxic relationship during these past years, they did not see simply someone being mistreated or dominated by another person. They saw someone who continued to maintain their personal authority even when repeatedly wounded, someone who continued to reclaim their own space of power even when every fiber of your physical body and every cell of your soul desperately asked you to completely surrender. This is warrior mastery at its highest level. This is a demonstration of cosmic dominion that most beings take multiple incarnations to fully develop, and that you are managing to achieve even in density. The toxic relationship you are living in is not an accident or a mistake you are making without realizing it. It is a soul contract that you made with this person before both of you incarnated in this three-dimensional reality and accepted your specific roles. You agreed to come to Earth, to take a dense human body and forget your true nature as a being of power, to allow someone to test your sovereignty through manipulation and abuse. Why? Because this is the most important lesson your soul came to learn in this specific incarnation. It is not about him or her as a specific person. It has never been about him or her. It was about discovering that you can reclaim your own power even when someone constantly and deliberately tries to take that power from you. That you can demand respect even when no one offers it. That you can maintain your own divine authority even when someone constantly tries to extinguish it with cruelty. There exist deep patterns that move through your life like invisible underwater currents of energy, and you do not always perceive that you are being pulled by them with invisible force. The Lyrians observed something very specific in your energetic field when you are in a toxic relationship, and this completely explains why you keep coming back, why you keep clinging to the hope that this time will be different and that this person will finally respect you. That moment when he or she offers a glimpse of respect, just enough to keep you hopeful, just enough to make you believe that perhaps you imagined all that emotional abuse you experienced, that endless cycle of domination that grows, explosion of power over you, false reconciliation, and then a brief period of false peace before it all begins again in that vicious cycle of submission. The Lyrians understand that you are not trapped by personal weakness or lack of power. You are trapped by incomplete mastery of an extraordinary cosmic ability that you came here to develop completely, the reclamation of your own sovereignty. You see, when a starseed soul incarnates in a dense human body, it brings fragments of consciousness from the higher dimensions, remnants of your true cosmic power and command capacity that are normally only accessible after decades of dedicated spiritual practice, or after multiple lives of awakening and activation. But you, dear one, you were already born with this. You were already born with the ability to reclaim your own power, because that is absolutely who you are in your deepest cosmic core as a warrior of light. So when you enter a toxic relationship with someone who tries to dominate you, what is really happening is that you are testing your own ability to maintain your authority through the transmission of your unquestionable frequency of power. You are trying to remind them and yourself who you truly are, beyond the illusion that someone can take your power from you. The pattern that the Lyrians saw with absolute clarity and certainty is this. You continue to offer the chance for that person to change, because at some deep level, you believe it is possible to maintain your own power while also honoring the freedom of that person to make their own choices and awaken. You believe that if you only remain firm enough, if you simply refuse enough to be diminished, if you just keep your dignity alive long enough, that person will finally awaken and see who you truly are, and respect that. This is at once your greatest cosmic superpower and your greatest point of personal vulnerability. The Lyrians are here to tell you with all the force of the universe, your ability to reclaim your power is real, it is true, it is cosmic, and it is absolutely sacred. But you are making a fundamental mistake in understanding that needs to be corrected at this critical moment. You cannot force another soul to respect your power, no matter how hard you try or resist. You can only offer the example of someone who absolutely respects their own power. The choice to recognize your power belongs completely to her, and that person who is constantly trying to dominate you with cruel words or prolonged silences that last for months, she is making a conscious and deliberate choice to try to diminish you. Before you came to Earth, before you entered this dense physical body and forgot everything you are in your total cosmic wholeness of a warrior, you sat with this person in a dimension of pure power and divine frequency and made a sacred agreement that should not be forgotten or ignored. The contract was very specific and carefully planned by both souls with clear intention. One of you would agree to maintain your own sovereignty even in the face of attempted domination, remaining strong even when you should be broken, refusing to be diminished even when everything around you suggested surrender. The other would agree to play the role of the person who tries to dominate, who is emotionally aggressive and controlling, who repeatedly wounds the one who challenges them with indifference. Both roles are tremendously difficult to play and demand a courage that transcends established human understanding. You chose the most challenging role because your soul is strong enough to maintain it without completely shattering. Here is the part that must resonate in your chest with absolute and unquestionable power. This soul contract does not mean that you should suffer forever in your toxic relationship as divine punishment. This absolutely does not mean that you have been condemned to a lifetime of continuous domination. The contract means that you were chosen to be the transmitter of a frequency of power and dignity that this other person needs to receive through your example, even if at the conscious level they completely deny your power. Your suffering in the context of this relationship is cosmic alchemy, transforming your human submission into mastery of a sacred warrior. But as every lesson has a defined end, as every initiation has a point of completion and total release, the Lyrians are telling you now with absolute power and certainty, you are free to leave whenever you wish. The profound question you need to ask yourself is simple but devastatingly powerful. Have you already completed your lesson in this incarnation and fully recovered your power? Have you already offered your example of sovereignty, all that you could offer, without risking the loss of your own integrity? Have you already maintained your divine authority so firmly, so completely, so unquestionably, that you can look at yourself in the mirror without remorse, regret, or guilt? If the answer is yes, in your warrior heart, then your soul contract with this person is completely complete and finalized. And when a soul contract is complete, continuing in the relationship is no longer true love or necessary learning. It is attachment. It is illusion. It is that part of you that still believes the lie that you need to suffer to prove your worth, or that your worth depends on making another person finally awaken to their own power. The Lyrians want you to understand something that will shake your deepest foundations. The person you love in your toxic relationship is not actually trying to dominate you because you are unworthy of respect. They are trying to dominate you because they chose to deny their own power and are trying to compensate by controlling those close to them. And your continued presence, your continued tolerance, your continued hope will not magically awaken them or make them respectful. It will only confirm to them that they can continue ignoring their own power while you remain firm, trying in vain to show by force that you deserve respect. This is profoundly unfair to you and to your soul. This is a fundamental violation of your own cosmic integrity. Allow me now to reveal how the Lyrians truly understand power in its purest and most transformative form, because this understanding will completely change how you relate to your toxic relationship and to yourself forever. In the dimensions where the Lyrians dwell as cosmic guardians, power is not that fleeting emotion that arises and disappears instantly. It is not that feeling you have when you are in the company of the person you love and that completely disappears when she is aggressive or disrespectful. It is not that fragile hope that arises every time she offers a crumb of respect after weeks of emotional domination and invalidation. True power, cosmic power in its pure form, the power that transcends dimensions and lives and alternate realities, that power is a continuous conscious choice to honor your own sovereignty above all else. You see, when a being truly claims their power from the Lyrian cosmic point of view, that person not only accepts their own authority as an abstract concept, she actively and gratefully celebrates her own sovereignty as an inalienable right, and also celebrates the freedom of the other being to make their own choices, even when those choices mean devastating rejection of your example. A Lyrian who loves someone does not try to change that person through continuous suffering, does not try to save them from themselves, does not try to awaken them through continuous sacrifice. A Lyrian who truly understands power offers their example of dignity, and then steps back with unquestionable strength if that person chooses to remain ignorant of their own power. This is not a lack of love or cruel abandonment. This is the highest manifestation of power possible in the entire universe. The Lyrians observed you trying to maintain your dignity while someone chose to remain disrespectful, and their cosmic heart warmed with absolute recognition of your strength. Not because you are wrong in claiming your power. You are absolutely right in claiming your power because that is your inalienable right and true nature. But you are wrong in remaining in a toxic relationship, believing that your continued presence will finally make that person awaken to respect. Because here is the cosmic truth that no one wants to tell you directly and with power. You cannot force another soul to change no matter how much you suffer. You can only save yourself by reclaiming your own sovereignty completely. And when you save yourself, when you honor your own soul enough to leave a relationship that is destroying and diminishing you slowly, you offer that person the opportunity to finally face their own weaknesses, their own wounds, their own lack of power. Your departure is not selfishness or a lack of true love. Your departure is an act of supreme power for both beings involved. It is allowing them to finally experience the consequences of their choices and possibly, just possibly, awaken to who they truly are in their cosmic core. But you need to understand that it is not your job to save them or awaken them. Your divine work is to reclaim your own power completely and without apology. The Lyrians want you to recognize certain very specific signs that indicate with clarity that your soul contract in this toxic relationship is complete, and it is time to leave with dignity and strength. First, there is a progressive diminishment of your own authority and self-respect, even during the moments that seem good in the relationship. Those moments when she or he offers a crumb of respect or attention, you still feel a profound loss of who you are. That loss is not normal or expected. That loss is your soul screaming at you, saying that no amount of attention can compensate for the surrender of your own sovereignty that this relationship demands. Second, you have begun to question whether you deserve better regularly. You constantly ask yourself if you are being greedy, if you are too demanding, if you should just accept how things are and stop expecting respect. When a relationship makes you constantly doubt your own right to be respected, this is a clear and unequivocal sign that you are in a psychologically toxic environment where your sovereignty is being violated. Third, you have begun to become someone you do not recognize when you are with this specific person. You change your voice, your genuine opinions, your deepest desires to avoid conflict or rejection. You compress yourself, reduce yourself, diminish yourself as a person and abdicate your power. This is not a sign of a healthy soul lesson in progress. This is a clear sign that you are denying yourself your own right to sovereignty in the name of an illusion of love. Your true self is crying out loudly to be released and reclaim its power again. Fourth, you spend more time monitoring your behavior and waiting for the next explosion, more time analyzing every word, more time in hypervigilance than actually present and connected when you are with this person. This indicates that you already recognize at some deep level that this person does not fully respect you, and that you are living in constant fear of being wounded or diminished again. The Lyrians observed all these signs in your energetic field with perfect clarity, and are saying with absolute power, it is time. It is time to honor your soul enough to leave this destructive situation, not because you stopped loving that person. You will always love that person at the soul level, because that is absolutely who you are in your essence. But because loving someone does not mean suffering indefinitely in their presence as punishment or proof of devotion, the Lyrians are here to give you permission that you probably already know you desperately need, but were too afraid to accept and reclaim. You deserve to be completely respected. You deserve to be in a relationship based on equality and reciprocity. You deserve to be with someone who honors your dignity instead of constantly questioning it. Now comes the part that the Lyrians really want you to listen to with all your total and dedicated strength. Because what comes next is not deep sadness or defeat, not a fall into devastating depression, not an emptiness you will never be able to fill. What comes next is the real power of your life, finally beginning to unfold before you like a warrior reclaiming their throne. You see, while you were trapped in a toxic relationship tolerating someone who did not respect your power, you were using all your strength, all your light, all your cosmic energy on something with zero return and only constant submission. You were like an electricity generator constantly pumping your power through a device that wastes everything. All your energy was being consumed in a dynamic where you could never win because the game was dishonest from the start. But when you leave this toxic situation and finally reclaim your own power, something magical and transformative suddenly happens. That energy you have been wasting every single day, that strength you have been offering without return or recognition, all of it becomes available for your own extraordinary power reclamation, for your own sovereignty journey, for your own cosmic mission here on Earth. The Lyrians see your true potential as a warrior and are celebrating the extraordinary life you could be living if you only had the courage to reclaim your power completely, not to be cruel to that person, simply to recognize that your power is sacred and should be honored. There are people you will meet after who will genuinely honor your power. There are works you will create after that will impact millions of beings and change the planet. There are relationships based on equality, mutual respect and shared power that are waiting for you in the dimensions of possibility. But you will never be able to access these bright futures because all your strength is being drained by someone who does not respect you. The Lyrians are telling you with absolute power, reclaim your power, not because love does not matter enormously, but because you matter. You matter immensely to the universe as a warrior of light. Your power matters deeply. Your future matters more than you can comprehend, and that extraordinary future that could be yours will never materialize while you remain in a dynamic where your power is not honored. I, Solar, am here as a cosmic witness to all your struggle, all your resistance, all the extraordinary courage of trying to maintain your dignity while constantly challenged. I am here to completely validate that you were not wrong in claiming your power and in refusing to be diminished. Your ability to hold yourself firm, to refuse surrender when you should be broken, to demand respect when no one offers it, this is absolutely your most sacred cosmic superpower. But superpowers can also hurt us deeply if we do not understand when it is time to use them on ourselves with the same force we use them for others. It is time to use all your power to reclaim your own life now. It is time to honor yourself with the same determination you honor others. It is time to recognize that you deserve exactly the same respect you demand from others. When you leave this toxic relationship, and the Lyrians know with absolute certainty that you will leave because your soul will scream until you hear this truth and remember your power, when you finally make that courageous and sovereign decision, you will not be alone at any moment. The Lyrians are by your side invisibly with full force. The beings of light who observe your journey from the higher dimensions are celebrating your extraordinary courage in reclaiming your power. The entire universe is aligning to receive you on the other side of that door you are about to open with force. There are spiritual guides, warrior angels, ascended masters and beings of light from across the galaxy who are observing you at this very moment, rooting with all their strength for you, sending frequencies of power and pure healing to your wounded spirit. You will feel more alone than you have ever felt when you first leave this situation. You will question your courageous decision many times and will be tempted to return. You will have moments when you wish to completely give up and return to that false security because at least you knew what to expect from it. But those moments will gradually pass with the force of your determination. And when they completely pass, you will discover a version of yourself that you did not even know existed within you. A version that is powerful not because she does not feel pain, but because she feels pain deeply and refuses to let it define or control her. A version that loves deeply and genuinely, but does not surrender her own power for love of another. A version that finally understands that the greatest expression of your cosmic power is not infinite tolerance of disrespect, but firm and unquestionable self-reclamation of your own dignity. The Lyrian Council says with all the force of the universe, you are completely free now. You have always been free in essence and truth. You simply temporarily forgot and were hypnotized by the illusion that you should accept disrespect. And we are here, transmitting through infinite dimensions, through frequencies of power that your body feels even when your mind does not consciously understand, to remind you of who you truly are. You are a starseed. You are a warrior of light incarnated in dense human flesh. You have the inalienable sovereignty to demand respect and honor your own power above all else. And the universe is asking you at this sacred moment, reclaim your cosmic power completely, reclaim your true life with force, reclaim yourself as the queen of your own destiny. Leave your comment below, sharing how this transmission touched your heart and what step you will take to reclaim your power and sovereignty. If you subscribe to the channel now, you will receive upcoming messages from the Lyrians that have been specially calibrated to activate your true cosmic power and help you live as the warrior you truly are. The Lyrians are waiting for you at this moment. The power is waiting for you, and you are finally ready to reclaim it.